Guys, I'm so excited to show you this demon look for Halloween this year. If you're new to my channel, I like to post Halloween looks each year, and you can check out my other videos down below. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on new videos, and let's go ahead and get started. First, we'll be making wings for our costume. You'll need cardboard elastic feathers, a glue gun, and 2 hangers. So you want to unravel and completely straighten out the first hanger. Then slowly bend it into a V shape with the bend right in the center. This is going to be our harness that attaches to the cardboard to give stability while sitting on your back. Once you have that shape down, you can bend equally, both ends slightly at an angle. Depending on how much you angle this will be how far up your wings go past your shoulders. With the second hanger, you just want to unravel it as well and then cut it in half. We'll be attaching these pieces to reinforce both sides. I taped the wires to the middle of my big cardboard piece so that they don't move around while I created this shape of one wing from paracord. So this part's totally up to you, however you want your wings to look. I ultimately went for a big rounded top half that tapered down. You could use string as well for this, anything that'll work as a guide to help draw on the shape to the cardboard like I did here. Make sure you do draw the lines all the way to the very center because we'll be flipping this wing over once it's all cut out to create the other wing. So then you can remove everything from the cardboard, and I just used a pair of scissors to carefully cut around the edges. Alright, so once it's cut out, flip it over and trace around the wing with your pen or pencil to get an exact copy for the other side. If you already know the general shape of the wing that you want going into this, then this part really shouldn't take too long. So now we have to finish the harness. We're going to take this elastic here and fold it in half. Place it directly in the center and then unfold it, put the harness over top, and go ahead and glue both sides down. I just used hot glue for this. I found that it worked really well. I also decided to fold the ends over like that. So now you just want to try it on, placing this at the center of your back, and bring the elastic going over your shoulders, then under to connect it to the bottom of the harness. And you can use a pen to measure where the most comfortable fit is for you, and then just go ahead and glue it down. My dog Coda and my cats seem to really enjoy watching me make these wings, so they kept me company the whole time. But this is what the harness should look like once you're finished strapping the elastic on. Alright, so now we'll be attaching these 2 pieces from the other hanger we had cut up earlier. I really liked the way that the elastic and the glue held things together. I felt like it was super secure, so I just used whatever, like the very ends that was left from the elastic at the bottom there to just hold these second pieces of the hanger on at the bottom. So again, we're using these as a way to reinforce this so that it's as strong as it can possibly be and your wings aren't going to, break on you while you're wearing them. I also used a little bit of elastic and hot glue to attach this to the top edges. So now you can place this directly in the center of your wings. Again, going in with that glue and elastic to really make sure that this is held down. You don't want this to move, or to fall apart while you're wearing them. So I glued this at the very top parts, the bottom, and also along the sides. Optional step here, but I found that this really helped to give that awesome 3D looking effect to the wings. You know how it makes it seem like they're actually real and not fake? All you have to do is place a piece of foam under your wing, trace around the edges, and cut it out. And you can adjust the shape from there however you like to give more volume and height in that area. So when you actually go to put your feathers on, they're sitting higher up and coming out more than the feathers on the rest of the wing. So I just flipped that piece over and I traced that out on my other little piece of foam. I just got this from, packaging when we get stuff sent to us. Sometimes it has this cool foam stuff in it. Before you glue this down, guys, make sure that the inner corners aren't too long because you don't want to accidentally glue the straps of your harness down. So just be aware of that and cut them if you need to. So guys, I found the most perfect demon horns for this costume on Amazon. Surprise, surprise, because I pretty much shop on Amazon every day of my life. But I didn't want them red though, so instead I spray painted them with the color Hammered Black to give a shiny, textured look. And you also want to spray paint your wings before going in with the feathers because it'll look so much better if you're starting with a black base versus tan or even white, you know, just in case you have any places that show through the feathers, or if the wind happens to blow and the feathers come up and then you see the cardboard, it's not a good look. So make sure you're spraying both the horns and the front and back of the wings in layers. I probably did about 3 to 4 layers with 15 minutes or so dry time in between. So I let both dry overnight, and then the next morning I worked on the rest of the outfit. For the top, all you need is a strapless bra. I really liked this one though because the straps in the back are clear, which gives a strapless or a backless look. And also because these cups, man, these cups are just so perfectly round shaped. This was so easy to make. All I did was just took some of the feathers that I was using for my wings and I glued them down in layers onto the top of this bra. So I just measured the pieces out, cut them, and then glued them down. But I started at the very top edge and then worked the layers down from there. I love the way that these turned out, and now we're gonna move on to the bottoms. The bottoms are actually bathing suit bottoms. I chose black ones that were high-waisted, and to make this super, super cool, I decided to buy from Walmart 2 yards. I bought 2 yards. I really only needed 1 yard, but 2 yards of tulle, and I hot glued that down to the top part all the way around of the bathing suit, and then I also hot glued on both sides to give my hips some more volume, some of the feathers, and then I used scissors to cut through the tulle just to kind of mess things up a little bit, and that completes the outfit. The outfit is finished. This did take me a few days though because I unfortunately got sick. I'm still sick. You guys might be able to hear it in my voice, but honestly, you could be able to do this all in one day. Back to the wings really quick. I just wanted to show you guys how I glued down the feathers. So what I actually ordered was Souter Rooster Hackle Feather Fringe Trim, which is 5 to 7 inches in width. I got a pack of 2. There's 5 yards in each, so I had about 10 yards to work with, and I ordered it in black from Amazon. So I found a pretty good price, which is why I decided to get this instead of just a bunch of individual feathers. I felt like it was a lot easier and it would take a lot less time to glue them all down. You basically just want to start gluing the layers on from the bottom, working your way all the way up to the top onto the foam. But I didn't have enough to work on the back. So I would definitely make sure to order more if you guys are gonna do the back as well, but just for video's sake, I just did the front. And then I also found this boa at Michael's that I hot glued to the very top part so that you couldn't see any of the cardboard. And I thought it looked nice because it was black and it had like a little bit of green in it, so it matched the feathers. And that is the completed look for the wings. And it fit like a glove. I'm so happy with the way that these look, guys, and hopefully I gave an easy instructional guide so that you guys can create some awesome wings for yourselves. I also forgot to say that for the very top, you guys can see it's like a little more green. I actually flipped the hackle over to the underside for it to be black at the bottom, and then flipped it to the right side up at the top for it to be green. I just figured it would help to give, more texture. So moving on to the makeup, you want to glue down your eyebrows because we are going to be drawing new ones in. So I just took a glue stick and did a few layers of that to really flatten down my eyebrows. I powdered over top with Laura Mercier Loose Setting Translucent Powder, and then I used the foundation that I'm using for the rest of my face on top of that and blended that in. Once you can no longer see your eyebrows, then you can go ahead and start drawing in this really exaggerated eyebrow shape. We're basically angling this all the way up to the hairline. Go in first with a black eyeliner or a black eyeshadow and an angle brush like I did here to get the general shape. If you want it more dramatic like I did, you could go over with a liquid eyeliner. So I primed my eyes with Benefit Stay Don't Stray, and now we're using a palette from Smashbox to create a black smoky eye. For this, all you want to do is just start by working in a lighter brown shade into the crease from inner to outer corner. Then take a darker brown shade and work this, focusing mostly in that outer corner area and slightly winging it out. With a black eyeshadow, pat that onto the lid, blend that up and out first with a really big fluffy brush, and then take a smaller fluffy brush or a smaller blending brush to help blend out the edges more carefully and get the black eyeshadow like exactly where you want it. I picked up some of the very first eyeshadow that we had used onto my little blending brush to help blend everything up and outwards. I felt like I needed a little bit more drama, so I added some dark brown that had a redness in it, and I put that in the outer corners and again blended it outwards. So you're really just creating a basic smoky eye here, but much more exaggerated. You know, since the eyebrows are exaggerated, the eyeshadow has to be exaggerated as well. I also added just a little bit more black because I felt like it was lost from all the blending, and that completes the eyeshadows. I used the same ink eyeliner that I used for my eyebrows as a way to give me the winged out eyeliner effect. I applied some false eyelashes. These are from Kiss, and I'm gonna actually link everything that I used on my face and for the do-it-yourself costume part down in the description box for you guys. So if you're wondering about anything that I'm using, it'll be right down there for you. Benefit Cosmetics Porefessional, this is my favorite primer. I am putting that all over my face to help smooth out my skin so that the foundation lays nice and evenly on my face, and also so that it lasts, you know, throughout the night. Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. I have mine in the shade 5 Fair. I'm putting this all over my face, but I found that this was not light enough, even though this is the lightest shade I own of this foundation. I love how full coverage this foundation is, but to get it a little bit lighter, I mixed it with Smashbox Camera Ready BB Water in Fair. I'm using for the very first time the new e.l.f. blending sponge with all the little sparkles and glitter in it. It worked really well. I just used it dry. I loved it. I will definitely be using it again and again and again. So for concealer, I used It Cosmetics by Under Eye Illumination. This is a full coverage waterproof concealer, so it'll definitely last for you. I basically used it as a base. I used the shade Medium, and then I went over with some more lighter color concealers from my Shiny Cosmetics concealer palette, blended them in with my blending sponge. This is another Shiny Cosmetics palette. I used the darkest shade to help give me some contour through my cheekbones, basically any areas that I really wanted to hollow out and make it look as if it was sunken in. So I used a tapered brush here to help me apply it exactly where I wanted it, which was under the cheekbones, down the sides of the nose, tip of the nose, around the corners of the forehead, and also along my jawline. And then I just blended things out again with my blending sponge. Set where I applied concealer so that it doesn't crease. I used the Laura Mercier loose setting powder to do that. And then, of course, you gotta match your body to your face. So I went ahead and just used a little bit of the mixture of foundations that I had used on my face on my body. Maybelline Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil. This is new in Sleek Onyx. I put this through the inner corner to outer corner, but I made sure to leave a little bit of space as if my waterline was actually thicker than it really was. And I blended out the edges with my little blending brush, and I blended that downward, like really far downward, almost to create like little veins. I went through with the dark brown that has a little red in it to help give me some more color down there and more darkness and deepness. And then I went through with the NYX Wonder Pencil in Light through my waterline. Finished off with a little bit of mascara, And for the lips, I just again went in with that Maybelline Lasting Drama Gel pencil, and I used it as a lip liner. And I filled in my entire lip with that. I really liked the way that this looked. It has a cool, like, sleek finish to it. And it felt great on my lips. It was actually pretty hydrating, so I just finished with that. And then I put my wig cap on, and my wig, which I got from Amazon. It has these little clips on the sides to help it stay on. I have a really annoying widow's peak that likes to pop through because it comes so far down my forehead, so I concealed that. And then I put my sclera lenses in, but it was the first time I had ever done that before. They are huge lenses if you guys have never seen them before. I completely messed up my makeup. It took me like 30 minutes to get them in, but it really was totally worth it. I feel like it makes the look. It looked more realistic, like as if I was crying blood because my makeup was all messed up. So I only fixed my eyelashes. I just re-put those on. I put my horns on. They have a clear elastic band that holds them together. It holds actually underneath the chin, but it's so far under the chin that you really can't see it. It's not noticeable. I wanted it to make it look as if these horns were really coming out of my head, so I wrapped some pieces of hair around them, and then I pulled some bangs out in the front just for some nice face framing pieces. Put on my wings, and then for the very, very last step, all you gotta do is put on some coagulated blood. I wanted it to look as if it was coming out of the inner corners of my eyes, so I started by putting big chunks of that blood there, and then I just let it slowly drip down my face. It takes a few minutes, but it does stay. It drips for like a minute or two, and then it just completely dries that way. So it's a really cool effect. And that is it for the completed tutorial. Please leave a thumbs up if you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.